What's up, people? Welcome to this week's episode of the Indian Doctor Podcast. Goran is fucking around with a penknife. He was scratching his forehead with it earlier. He's now doing some Gatka movements. Such a rare individual. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I have a rare case of the man flu, and
Man flu, real flu, same thing.
yeah. You
What's
people
the
are blessed,
difference,
man. I'm here. It's no difference. It's just when
Come on,
men
doctor.
have it,
Tell me the difference. Tell me, please.
when men have it, we just feel incapable of doing anything. Hi, सारा कुछ दुखदा. Oh, your hair दुखदा. Oh, body दुखदी है. And we just have this way of just, I can't do anything, and we want to be babied a little bit. And in our house, when somebody gets ill, there are certain foods we go to. Like they go to.
What foods is it?
I actually don't know what it is in English, but it's khichdi.
Always the Indian cup of tea. 100%.
So jar, yeah, absolutely. So I've got jar here, right? So ready for the podcast. I was like, I need a cup of tea to sort this throat out. Right, and khichdi is the food that we have. It's made of dal, isn't it? So it's lentils, but you do different. Yeah, it's like this, like a porridge. Not even like a porridge. I don't know what it is, but you have it with dahi, you have it with yogurt, and it's just lines your stomach. And it's just in our house, it's like standard. Your unwell food from a desi.
Do you mean semia?
No, semia dessert, bro.
Okay, I'm just checking. I don't know. Dalia?
I've been told by Shindy it's.
That's the English word.
Is that the English word for it? Okay, so KEDGERE. Kedgeree. Kedgeree. And we call it khichdi. We just made it up, that word.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, right. So it's just
added a bit of masala on it.
Oh, so it's actually an English word.
No, it's probably the other way around.
Oh, right, okay. Anyway, that's what we have from a desi point of view. And then from a English
medical
perspective.
point of view.
No, not medical. English perspective, when we're ill, like mom's go-to growing up was, right, jam toast. You can't go wrong with jam toast. You're going to eat some jam toast. Right? I don't care if you feel sick. I don't care how you feel. You need to eat something. And if you, like, when you're really young and you're really naughty, diarrhea.
You know what?
Oh my God.
What?
Diarrhea. This weird, like,
Diarrhea
drink.
sachets. Yeah.
Because it looks like there's that, that.
It looks like it tastes good.
Ribena,
It looks like Ribena.
Yeah,
Looks
you're
like
drinking
Ribena,
that. Yeah. This is disgusting, man.
Isn't it made for people that have diarrhea?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's basically for electrolytes, isn't it?
Exactly, and obviously when you're unwell from a infection point of view, so here's a cool fact for you. In a normal day when you're not unwell, so you right now, you're not unwell, are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Right? You'll lose 1.5 litres in sweat. We call that insensible loss. So it's not in sweat that you see. So perspiration, breathing from your skin, you don't know it's happening. 1.5 litres. Okay? So imagine when you have fevers and you're sweating more, how much you're losing. So again, the whole point is diarrhea. You want to drink something that is basically salty, because then it keeps the water with it rather than the water just leaving and you becoming dehydrated.
Why do athletes drink it then prior to a performance? So they'll stock up on electrolytes quite heavily prior to anything.
Because they know they're going to lose it and expend it. It's like us before we hit the stage in Bhangra. We know we're going to need energy. We don't need it. It's just
no, but I'm talking about athletes. I'm not talking about Bhangra guys, right? It's different.
Mate, we're athletes, man. Like, come on.
Were. Anyway,
those 8 men were, yeah.
with electrolytes, I think isn't it essential for, I'm using 100% bro science here, but isn't it for essentially just keeping your salts in your body or whatever it is?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So having certain salts is obviously important for your heart and your cells to function. The cells need to produce ATP. ATP is energy. So it's to do all this type of things. So optimizing your performance and keeping water in the right places. You don't want the water to leave.
It essentially is meant to stop you from cramping then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, well, or delay cramping. So when you exercise at elite level, at some point your muscles are just gonna, they're gonna give out.
Shut down.
Yeah, you'd have a stitch, won't you? That's what happens when you run too much, isn't it? And you go into what we call anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration produces lactic acid. Lactic acid builds up. You feel that lactic acid goes like, stitch.
Yeah.
So you're delaying the onset by having these things. A lot of it's to do with conditioning as well, but these are the little kind of, marginal things you can do pre-performance.
Of course, I get that. That's cool. Well, I got some news for you. I saw Dave Chappelle live yesterday.
Oh, you didn't sell your tickets?
No, so basically, I wasn't selling my tickets. I was selling my Barbie and Brothers tickets because they couldn't make it. So I was selling theirs on their behalf. It wasn't for me to not go. I would never give that up.
I was like, Dave Chappelle, you bum off him.
I would never ever not go.
How are you not going to go?
that?
And then I saw the price of your tickets and I was like, man, they must be quite close. Where were your seats?
Circle?
Right, Hammersmith Apollo, yeah?
Yeah, Circle. So upstairs, near sort of
One
the
second.
second row of Circle seats.
In relation to where the judges sit at TBC,
TBC, you mean TBS?
TVS, that one.
So the judges sit at the top, at the very front of the Circle.
Yeah.
You've got all those seats there, and you've got the people walkway, and then the next set of seats, I was there, the next set of seats.
Nice. A premium, man.
It's pretty close, man. I had this...
Yeah.
It was a hell of an experience, but go on, ask your question first.
When did you book him?
So by chance, I was looking on my emails during the wedding time. I think I was off from work, and I was just looking through my emails, and you know how sometimes your email breaks it up into focused and other? I looked in the other, and I was like, let me just have a flick through, and I was just clicking loads to get rid of it. And then one of them, I just saw like Live Nation presents Dave Chappelle. I was like, what? And then I clicked it.
Has he ever come to the UK?
I don't know. I think he comes to the UK, but this is the first time I've ever known that he's here in the UK. So I clicked it and I was like, no fucking way. And I clicked it, go onto it, and there's only like a few days left. And I tried to get like a weekend because that would be better. But that was the only one available, the Tuesday. I called my brother and Bubby. They said they were in. So we bought the tickets. And then last week, my brother said he couldn't make it. So we left it and I tried to sell his tickets. He managed to find a taker like straight away. They got their money back as well. And yeah, it was a hell of an event because you walk up and it says, I thought it starts at 7:30, right? Because it says it's 7:30.
You thought it starts at 7:30. The ticket said
I thought the doors open at 7:30.
What does the ticket say?
The ticket says 7:30. I was like, okay, so the doors open at 7:30. I showed Sanj at 5:30, and it says in the bottom left corner in little print, doors open at 6:30. I was like,
the show starts.
Yeah, we gotta leave. We gotta leave now, innit?
So in relation to Hammersmith, like how far is that?
We're East London. Hammersmith is West London.
Okay, so time-wise, tube-wise, give me like
about an hour and a half. We're looking at.
Oh shit! So that's tight.
So I was like, yo, we gotta leave now. So we left at like 5:40.
No
we
food.
got there. No. We ate because we always planned to leave at 5:30, regardless.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, look, it's fine. That's enough time. So we made it there for like 7:10. No issues. Everything was smooth. We're walking up and we're thinking, hang on, it says it's going to start in 20 minutes. The queue was insane. I never knew that there was a part of the queue for Hammersmith that goes all the way around the back of the venue and then loops back round. I've never seen a queue like that before.
I want to remember now.
So say if you're walking up to Hammersmith at the front.
If the Hammersmith's in front of you now, I know on the
Hammersmith is front
side,
and to the left of you is a pub, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a little pub next to it, yeah? And then there's an alleyway in between the two. The way that they were starting people to queue, they were starting to queue out front, go right alongside the pub in that alleyway, loop back round, and then come through. I was like, shit, okay. I thought that we were late. We're queuing up. We're about to get inside. And as you get inside, we look at the queue again. The queue had now stretched all the way back round the right-hand side of Hammersmith. Because
so
everyone's late.
Everyone's
late. Like, it's a heavily ethnic minority show. Yeah, you got like black people, Indian people, and they're all using their time.
He expects this. He's like, he's only going to
He's probably thinking like, no one's going to be on time. Fuck that. And it's true, none of them were. So as soon as you get to the door, they give you this little pouch called a yonder bag.
Your phone goes.
You've got to put your phone in the pouch.
All American stand-up guys seem to do this. I saw this first time. Kevin Hart.
Only the ones who can afford it. Be careful with that. Only the ones who can afford it.
Well, I was going to say Kevin Hart. I was going to say was the only one I've seen do it. I think it's to do with the recording, isn't it? Like because they're going to put these shows out or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically so that nobody can have Nobody can film it and release it, and so they want to keep their material private. They want to have an intimate experience. And the Kevin Hart event that I went to him in about 2014-15. I saw him at Wembley. I shouldn't have done that. That was not great because it was so high up you couldn't see anything. But obviously he sold out Wembley.
Was he in the middle? Was he on a?
He was in the middle, and I was like,
I went to that.
Say if he's looking up, I was on the right of him in the corner. It was like it wasn't great, but it's cool. At least I got to see him. Now his bags were like a sealable bag, so you could unseal it and open it up if you wanted to. But the Yonder bag, you can't unseal it. You have to come to the front, and they have like a magnet thing that opens it up for you.
Yeah.
And you
Which
can't
is
see
okay.
through the
I
phone
guess
or
like
anything.
you don't really need your phone when you're there.
No, you don't. And when we got inside and we've been through everything, it was just nice to see not everybody on their phone. And I was sitting there and I was like, this is quite cool to just come into an event. Everybody's just attentive to the experience. There's nothing else happening around us. You can just be with each other. So the DJ's playing some good music, we're sitting down. We sat down in pretty good time. And everybody's still walking in. The first warm-up back came on. His name was Kojo. He was really good. He's from East London. So he was dropping like local jokes about London, being British, being African. That was cool. He went off. Then Jeff Ross came on. So Jeff Ross is the guy who does
the roast,
the comedy roast.
Baldy.
Bald guy, comedy roast. Yeah. So
I like
does it on.
He opens for a lot of people, man. Who else did he open for? I can't remember. Again, another one of the comics. I know he does the roast as well.
So I was like, shit, Jeff Ross. I didn't expect him to come online. So he came up and he did like a few bits here and there. And his comedy, it was okay at the start, and it went really shaky in the middle. And then at the end, he had this fantastic bit on the Queen and Prince Philip, right? And it was brilliant. Everybody was dying laughing, and I was like, oh, okay. I think he was testing new material in the middle, and he had this killer bit at the end that he was just going to put out. And obviously that's going to resonate with us British people. So that worked really well. Had an intermission, then he said, all right, I'm going to call some people on stage and I'm going to roast them live in front of everyone.
Nice.
And I was like, oh shit, let's go. Right? So he goes off stage.
Nice.
Have about a 10-15 minute break. At this point, I went for a piss at the beginning because I was like, I know it's going to pack out. As soon as the intermission came, everybody left to go to the bar. There's so many empty seats around you. And give it about 20 minutes.
When you
a
say
few people in
intermission,
and out.
as in like, Dave hasn't come out at this point?
No, as in he's just saying, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. When I roast people, after that, Dave will come on. Like, all right, cool. So he starts roasting people. He just starts pulling people up on stage. He's like, okay. He's like, you white guy, you white guy, you white guy, you white guy. He's like, I'm at a Dave Chappelle concert and nobody black is volunteering to come on stage, right?
Eventually people are just raising their hands?
Yeah. Just people who are raising their hands. He had two Asian guys.
If you were there, would you go? Would you have gone?
No.
could you handle and take a roast?
I could handle it, but then I'm like, I'm just an easy target. Like, there's too many things you can just manipulate, right? But he called up these two Asian guys that were brothers on stage, ripped the shit out of them.
Could have been you and Bao.
Yeah, could have been. But I was high in circle, so it wouldn't happen. You had to be sitting in stalls. He pulled up a black lady. He had a Romanian girl, and he was just the speed in which he can roast people is absolutely incredible. Because to think on the spot, to be given a little bit of information and then exchange back straight away and make people laugh, it's so instant. And I'm thinking he's going off what they're saying and what they're telling him. He's not just saying, "I look at this guy dressed like this." He was using bits that they were saying straight back at them, and I was like, "Man, that's so smart."
Completely unscripted. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's a skill.
It's purely
when they do it at that
unscripted,
level,
like,
you're just like, because you don't know. I often think about this. If say like you took a transcript from what comedians are saying, you read it, it's probably not that funny, right? But the delivery, isn't it?
But that's the fuckery, because the reason why Dave Chappelle's had all this outrage about the trans stuff is because if you read in manipulation as what he said, it sounds heinous. But if you look at it in the context of like, it's a comedy show, he said it in a broader story, and there was context behind it and build up, it then makes you feel more comfortable with the laugh or what he's saying. So I was like, okay, that's the thing. That's why I personally haven't looked at any of the stuff he said about trans people. I haven't watched the special because I didn't want to ruin it potentially for this one. I didn't know if he was going to recycle anything or whatnot. And anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So going back to Jeff Ross, he rinsed the shit out of these people. They went off stage. He goes off stage, and then the DJ's trying to get everybody warmed up, getting everybody on their feet. And then he calls up Dave on stage, and this guy is just so nonchalant with his entry. He walks like he's high, right? Incredibly slow, just walking along, soaking it in a boiler suit, comes on stage, and in the middle of the stage, there's like the stage, and there's like a little centre bit in the front where he stands, so he's more in the crowd.
He didn't do the stool then? He didn't sit on a stool?
No, I was up in circle. Oh, he didn't sit on a stool. No. He was standing the whole time. He was standing. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Not used to seeing him sit in the school. Yeah.
yeah, normally, but it was nice to see him sort of immerse himself into the crowd a little bit. That little bit makes all the difference because he's forward. People are looking up. People are looking forward and leaning forward. So it's nice to see that. Yeah. So he did that, and he just leaned straight into the whole trans stuff that he was talking about immediately,
straight away,
and then kept on going for it the whole time throughout the whole special.
So what's his take?
He basically opened up. He walks up. He says, "I've got a brief statement that I would like to say in regards to my statement on trans people." Now, fuck this. He just throws the paper in the air. He's like, "Fuck this, I don't care." Right? And then everybody starts cheering. Okay. And he's like, "Fuck me, I hate the media." And he just starts going off on one, talking about all this shit. And he said the media can make anything sound bad if they want to. He gave more context behind it, and then he just moved on. But then he keep referencing it throughout the whole time. And a lot of the things he didn't come with any solid material. He just started doing crowd work with people. So he'd be like, "Where you from, miss? Where you from?" And he would just ask people stuff. And then he'd tell another bigger story behind it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's really smart. Obviously, he had some pre-planned bits that he was going to put in. But the way he did it was iconic. And everybody was laughing. Everyone was pissing themselves. And I couldn't get over it. I was like, holy shit, man. This is one of the guys that I've watched since I was a kid. And now I'm finally seeing him live. So he was great.
He's definitely a household name, man. And again, when I have memories of Dave Chappelle in like The Nutty Professor, like that. Do you know what I mean?
That's
like
when
when you
I
see
first
him
got
there,
introduced to it.
that's when I saw him, and I was like, who's this dude in it? At that point, you didn't like, who's this guy in it? And then I think the American scene for stand-up comedians, there's a couple.
It's so strong.
It's so strong, and I want to. I'm going through them, and I just want to see. I want to see all these guys, and it's something I'll ask you in a second about Sanj, but Shindy and I completely love stand-up comedy. I'm so happy events coming back. We've got Paul Chowdhury booked in soon, and so-called July, and a couple of other Desi ones as well. But yeah, the experience of watching stand-up comedy and being fully immersed and just laughing, you just have such a good time, man. I don't I go to a concert and like Jay-Z, Kanye West, that's awesome as well. But stand-up comedy now, when stuff is relatable to you, I can't think of I don't mind spending money to go and watch somebody who's going to tell me stories and we're going to laugh and it's relatable. It's awesome, man.
It was all relatable. She really enjoyed it. She was a bit apprehensive because obviously the whole stuff about the trans stuff and whatnot. She said, "Have you looked at the quotes to me?" I said, "Look, I haven't." And she said, "I don't know how I feel about it." But the second he started leaning into it and he started giving referencing behind it, it makes you more comfortable again. Because I'm sure a lot of people went and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if we should be here or whatnot." And then you're thinking, no, but hang on. If you just give him a chance to explain it, or even then he doesn't need to explain it because he's already explained it in the previous special he did. Cool. And he just knocked it out the park. It was so smooth. Everything he did was on point delivery. It was fantastic. He only did about 45 minutes, but that was enough, honestly. The only thing I had that was a bugbear of mine, the guy who my brother sold his tickets to, sat next to me. He had his phone.
How?
He didn't. Basically, I said to Sanj as soon as we walked in, the Yonder bag thing is very, very weak. So you have to voluntarily give your phone. So they say, "Have you got a phone?" We're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Okay, cool. Put it in a pouch." I was like, "All right." And this guy, obviously, I went inside and I said to Sanj, I said, "Yo, if I didn't tell them I had my phone, they wouldn't have patted me down or known." I was like, people must have utilised that. So this guy obviously did. He utilised it. And he was there. I don't know him. Like, I know of him, but I've never met him properly one-to-one.
Okay. He's your brother's friend?
Yeah. Well, friend from the gym. So, yeah.
All right, okay, fine. All right, so he's there just...
Well, he's there and he's got his phone in his lap, right? And because you're in an experience, he was looking at his phone, texting and stuff. And I'm like, listen, bro, you've paid to come and see Dave motherfucking Chappelle and you're on your phone. And he showed up 5 minutes prior to him coming on. He missed all the warm-up packs and everything.
Why?
And I'm like, man, you're so next. I'm like, why would you do this to yourself? Like, you've gone through all this effort. Just come and enjoy the show. But yeah, he was off-putting to the point where I had to put my hand up here so I didn't look at the phone shining in my eyes because everything's dark around you and you're trying to just watch in front of you. But when there's a light going off to the side of you, it's like being in a cinema again. When someone's got that, all you can see in the corner of your eye is that light. And I was like, look, it's up to him as to what he wants to do. Then he had crisps. And he was rustling packs of crisps. And I'm like, What are you doing, man? Like, come on.
Yeah. You're having a little meltdown.
Come on,
in your
bro.
head,
Like,
innit?
be nice to everyone around you, innit? Yeah.
Social etiquette, isn't it? I know in some
Yeah,
shows,
definitely.
I think it's Michael McIntyre show. There's people walking around, this is in Birmingham, and they have these like laser pens and just point at you, like you
Yeah.
on the phone.
Yeah.
I like it, man. They call people out, because a couple of other people get scared, and then that's it, right? And on your other point, we watched Shang-Chi last week, Marvel
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
And very interesting. So I finished work at 4. Star City's not too far from work, so we've got a 4:55 show. Like, this is how you know you're getting old, man. Like, you get
That's enough
tadpoles.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, but as in like really early show, man. Like, no one watches it.
That way
Oh,
you
I
can
know.
get home and still have an evening. Yeah.
Right. Okay. See, you get it, man. You're a married man. You
I
know
know,
all
I
these
understand.
things.
I
Right,
understand the
okay.
game. Yeah.
So, me and Shindy got there, watching a film, and we've got this lady who's brought she's got 3 young kids, man, and the youngest kid has these trainers that light up.
Oh.
So she's like walking around. She's making noise, the kid. Then she has to be
Yeah.
entertained by like a YouTube video, which is making his own sound. And then number 3, you got
Entertain the kid in a cinema.
yes, because the kid clearly
Why?
doesn't watch the film. Yeah.
Then why the fuck
And then-
wouldn't the kid then?
Absolutely, man. And then you got these trainers that are just doing their own thing with the lights, and I'm just like,
fuck me. Why was he kicking his feet together as well to make the lights go off?
she, yeah, she's walking around, and
Sorry, she.
I was just like, come on, like Marvel, man, and why you? And then I was like, oh, maybe this is why you don't come to 4:55 shows. But yeah, social.
Yeah, the
etiquette.
kids will be in bed, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The only other time we've had experience of that is when we watched John Wick 3. And I think it was a
Okay.
day like maybe schools had finished or something like that. Or,
Oh, so you're gonna
broken
get all the kids from school that are really excited, making noise and shit.
these roadmen just running in and out of the screen constantly.
Yeah.
Anyway, we came out, there was a whole Jata guys, means like a whole bunch of us. Found the manager, all got free tickets for another show too, whatever we wanted.
Smart.
Because they knew in
smart
it.
idea.
Yeah, it's just...
They know the game.
You seen
So
Bond?
yeah. Well, hang on. I need to finish the story. Hang on. Hold on to
DC?
that Bond thought.
Yeah, DC.
Hold on.
Come carry on with DC.
Hold on to that Bond thought. Hold on to that. So
DC.
Dave has done his thing. He smashed it. He's about to walk off stage, and then he pulls up Ed Sheeran, who was side stage.
What?
And I was like, he just called up Ed Sheeran casually. and he's like, I just want to
Is Ed
introduce you to my
Sheeran
man.
in the crowd?
No, he was side stage. Ed Sheeran was side stage, just watching the whole thing.
He's not attending as a guest.
No, he is attending as a guest, but obviously he's not
Oh.
going to sit with the audience. He's going to be side stage watching the whole thing because he wants exclusive access to everything, right? And Dave was saying, like, yeah, he said, this is Ed Sheeran. He's actually a good friend of mine. I gate crashed his birthday many years ago here in England. And he was very gracious about it. And I was like, holy shit, Ed Sheeran knows Dave Chappelle. Random combination. Dave brings up this harmonica player, and the harmonica player starts playing. Then Ed Sheeran starts singing over it
What's
with
on?
The Shape of You. Knocked out the park.
Everyone goes crazy.
Then he pulls up another guy next to him, and I'm like, who is this guy? I couldn't make him out, but he had hair like Travis Scott, so you know the hair like long beads in his hair and stuff, right? And I was like, I don't know who that is, and he dropped like a sort of freestyle that wasn't a freestyle. He just said the same thing about 4 times. I got home, I checked him out. It was AJ Tracy, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know it was him because I didn't recognize him, but also it didn't sound like him. So yeah, he did that. Then Dave's bodyguard started singing because
As
he
you
can
do.
sing. He
Okay.
can sing, and he's from America, so he sang beautifully. Then he pulled up one of his mates. He does another podcast with Talib Kweli and Mos Def.
Okay.
Talib Kweli was with him. He came up. He did like a quick 32 beat freestyle. That was mad. And then they did like a little bow at the end, and then they all left. And I was like, that was completely
Wow.
off the cuff, insane. I was like, no show is ever going to beat that for me. I've been to a few comedy shows. None of them match up to that. Because he didn't do an
That's-
encore. He just brought people on and just celebrated them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did he walk off and then you clapped and he came back on? Then he did this.
No. He just walked off and pulled Ed on stage.
Ed,
He's like,
Ed.
I want to introduce you to my friend Ed Sheeran. We're like, yeah, we know who he is, mate. Right? We're all fucking British. Yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
it was great,
amazing.
man. Absolutely great.
He's somebody I want to watch perform live. I love Ed Sheeran.
Why didn't you take my ticket offer then?
No, I saw it, dude. I saw it. It's midweek. You know what? When I saw it, I actually sent it to Meher and Kenny.
Yeah.
And they couldn't go, but they got all excited. And I was like, give me a yes or a no. He needs to know. Like, this isn't
Yes.
going to last. And they were
Yes.
like, no. And I was like, yeah. So
It went
if
within
it
2 hours,
was
to be
local, I would have been there, man. Like, I was.
The thing is, I know why he wasn't in Birmingham, because afterwards, Kojo, the comedian, I started following him on Instagram, And I checked his story, and he went out with Dave Chappelle on that night. They were out in London somewhere, just getting pissed. It was Dave's son's 21st birthday that evening.
Okay.
So he was in the club. He was having a good time, wishing him happy birthday and stuff. And then Logan Paul was there in the club as well. And I'm like,
Logan
you
Paul,
wouldn't
the
get
boxer?
this. Yeah, I was like, you wouldn't get this in Birmingham or anywhere else. That's why they do London, because it's a 24-hour city. You're always going to have somewhere to go. You're always going to be doing stuff like that. It's open.
It's true, but most comedians, they've all toured in the NEC, man. Like, everybody does not do it.
Nah, Goran, it's different, man. If you're Dave Chappelle and you want access to everything, and no other city's going to give it to you, you just perform at the Apollo.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, but I mean, if you're doing a tour, Kevin Hart's been here, Russell Peters been here, all the big guys have been here. But I guess, if you got to pick between the one and two, man, London all day, man. Like, there's nowhere.
Yeah. He's like another level up, but yeah, man, I don't think any comedy show I go to will ever match that. If he comes to England again, I will definitely see him again. But he ended the show by saying, "Good night, y'all, and by the way, I'm cancelled." And then he just dropped the mic. And I was like, nice. Nice touch. Yeah, nice touch.
What was the name of the show?
He didn't have a name for it. It just said Dave Chappelle Live. He didn't name it anything.
Man, see, that's when you're at gangster level.
When you're at gangster level and you can drop a special and then you can still be on tour and do a brand new 45 minutes, half of it being crowd work, it's insane. To get to levels like that is unmatched.
There's no like sexy marketing. He just turns up.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just show
that's
up.
The level.
Do my thing,
that's the level we need to be at, man.
Yeah.
To be fair, Shindy was like, Shindy? Shindy was asking me, so with the podcast, like, how does it work? In terms of my prep, right? Like, she's like, Indy just tells you things and then you just talk about it. And I was like, yeah. She's like,
it's kind of that level now. If we have something exciting to talk about in the week, we'll talk about our week. And then if we don't, we'll talk about topics. I prep topics every week that we want to touch on.
Yeah. But you prep them. And she's like, but then you haven't done any reading about it. And she's like, so how do you feel about that? I was like, I don't know. I was like, we just go with it. And then I said, look, when I see patients every day, I don't know what's coming. Like, it just comes through the door and you just deal with it. And so when she said that, it actually made me think about, I've got friends who like work on projects and they kind of know what they're doing and where they want to go. Whereas my shit, man, is just like, whatever's in it. Whatever comes through, I have to deal with it. Yeah. But and the same with the podcast, like whatever you're going to talk about, we're going to talk about. So it's all good.
So yeah, man. All in all, fantastic. If you guys want to see him in the future, we'll definitely try and sort that out. But
we'll be down, man. I mean, listen, comedians in general, and I know we watch a lot of theatre together. Sanj's obviously in theatre. I think the other one to explore then, is comedy. Yeah. Any comedy, down, man. The thing now, we're at the point now where we love the high end stuff. We actually love really local comedy now as well.
Yeah,
like
which is fair.
Little clubs, intimate, good crowd interaction. Just it's always a good night out. Like, I just can't knock comedy.
To be fair, I went to the Glee Club in Birmingham once on a work do with my old lot on a Friday night. I saw some good comedy acts there, to be fair. They were half decent, like nothing really bad, nothing really good. But I was like, I had a nice time. It was cool.
Good time, innit? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Stop playing with your hair, man.
I'm sorry, man. What about you? Last week, I don't want hair loss.
I want to keep my hair. That's right. I said it. I want to keep my hair.
I'm going to go to Turkey. Yeah.
I'm not going to go to Turkey at all.
I'm going to go to Turkey.
You know the meds I'm taking.
Mate, a special oil deal and whatever sesame.
You know what it is.
Sesame
it's
oil.
For other shit.
That's what you're having, sesame oil.
Sesame oil, yeah, why not? Rub that yellow shit in my hair.
1, 2, 3 sesame oil.
1, 2, 3 Sesame Street. It's a very nice touch. Well done. He's saying that, people, for those of you that can't see, I'm wearing a Sesame Street
shirt.
Guys,
live comedy. I can just riff, right? I can just
live
take stuff,
comedy.
I can do it. Bang, bang, bang.
Just throw it straight back at me, yeah? Alright, the Bomb film, I haven't seen it. I've had no one to go with to go see it. I've had no one to go see it. Sanj does not want to go see it.
What?
She doesn't want to see it. She hates Bomb films.
What?
To be fair, Karen, Bomb
films
are
wait.
Bomb films are quite
before you carry on, this is a message for Sanj. We will henceforth be known as Tayaji and Taiji. Masi and Masi is cancelled. That's it. Nope.
Tell the context behind that. Go on, tell the context.
You tell the context, man. It's funny.
No, you tell it. Go on.
Where to start? So, guys, post wedding, Indy and San sent some beautiful personalized videos thanking people that came to the wedding and sort of helped out and lots of different things. And your video that he sent to us was talking about some of the things we put in the card, which is lots of memories from things we've done together. And then, so there's ongoing debate about whether Shindy and I are Indy side or Sanjay's side. Well, on the wedding, we ended up being on both sides, helping both sides. But so, when they have kids, Indy and Sanj, what the kids will call me and Shindy depends on which side we are affiliated with.
Yes.
Right, guys? So, in Punjabi, we talked about this before, there is no such generic uncle, auntie. So, depending on the relationship, you have a specific name. Now, if we are Sanjay's side, then to her kids, so this is presuming that Shindy is like a sister to Sanj, to their child, she would be Masi and I'd be Masar. Now, generally talking, that's a closer relationship in most families, and it's a lot cooler sounding. If we are Indy side, and because I am older than Indy, that's important because it'd be different if I was younger, then I would be their child's Tayaji, and Shindy would be their Taiji, which is not as cool, and most people don't like
it. Sounds old.
Yeah, it sounds super old. But if Sanj does not watch James Bond, we will have to reconsider that. So that is the context to that. So Sanj, we need to have words.
Is it good? Because I've heard mixed thoughts about it. About it. I've heard that people don't like it. And I've heard people just say it's shit, and some people say it's good, and there's a twist. Like, I don't know. Don't spoil it for me. I'm going to try and see it, but yeah.
So, I think Daniel Craig is an excellent Bond. That's the first thing I would say. I think he's definitely molded and changed the scene. You look at before, Pierce Brosnan was, for me, ladies' man Bond. It's all about ladies, Whereas Daniel Craig came on scene was like, do you know what, he is the definition of bad boy Bond. He does not listen to anybody. He does not give a shit and just does his own thing. And when you watch it, you really think he's like that in real life. That's how well he plays the role. In his last outing as Bond, I think it was excellent. The cinematography. Now, backstory to this. I was doing, during COVID, part of my private medical work is doing like medicals for people who need special driving licenses, essentially. There was one guy, he walked in Indy and he had this personalized Marvel hoodie. And I was like, oh. And then basically I started talking, he designs the sets for Marvel films.
Wow.
Right? And he also did for Bond. So this is like a year ago, before the film came out. And he's telling me, he's like, it's shot here in Italy. And he's telling me about the Aston Martin that's going to be in the film. And he's talking about the new Range Rovers that you're going to see in the film that haven't been released yet. And when they're transporting them in the UK, they're covered in covers because they can't show them.
Right.
Anyway, so the cinematography is awesome. Like the opening, I think 2 scenes. It's a place in Italy. Like you'll watch it, and I know you and Sandra Black.
I'll appreciate it 100%. Yeah.
No, sure, like it, man. Like it's a holiday. Like it's just I was watching. I was like, we need to go there to India. That's beautiful. The bad guy, what was his name? Remy Malek, the guy who played Queen as well. Excellent bad guy. But you also have Christopher Waltz, who's the bad guy from the last Bond. You know Christopher Waltz,
Yeah, I remember.
Again, awesome act. So the cast is stellar. Stellar cast. Great story. Yeah, really, like Daniel Craig's last outing. Great way to finish.
Fair play.
Yeah,
well, in which case, I'll definitely try and see it. Yeah, I'll try and see it. I've got to try and find some last minute stragglers.
Will Bao watch it? Or?
I'm not sure. He might do. I think he's already seen it, but I'll ask him. I'll see what he says. Problem is, when I'm back in Birmingham, I want to spend time with everyone. I don't want to just go to the cinema. See what I mean? I want to do like other stuff, but let's see.
Have you seen Shang-Chi?
Yeah, loved it, man. Loved it. I feel it was
good,
probably one of my favourite Marvel films, honestly. So original.
Have you watched him in his other stuff?
Him being the main guy?
Yeah.
No.
So Netflix, watch it with Sanj. Watch Kim's Comedians. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
I've heard about this.
It's really funny, man.
Yeah.
It's really good watching. That's primarily why I've seen him before. There's a bit, when he gets to that special place in the woods, the jungle, the hidden thing, and he's training with like his Masi. I presume it's his Masi,
Yeah, yeah.
Who's like that lady we see in every Chinese martial arts film.
Yeah,
You know when they showed the mom in the start, I was actually surprised it wasn't her. But obviously she gets killed off, right? And I'm like, oh, that's why, because she's playing this role. I was like, you can't have like from like ever like Crouching Tiger days like to now, like she doesn't age either. That woman does not age. She's beautiful, man. She's a beautiful woman. I'm gonna put that out there. Anyway, in that scene when he's training with his Masi, he's wearing these like sandals, right?
Yeah.
So I leaned over to Shindy and I was like, I'm getting some sandals. I know. I'm my toes out. I'm having some Velcro straps. And he starts punching me like this. Like, no sandals.
Oh god,
no sandals.
the sandals thing is like a hype, man. I know people that wear flip flops, and they love their flip flops so much they won't change into new ones because their current ones have molded into their feet, so they're really comfortable for them. Yeah, and even then, it's so like worn in that they won't transition to anything else. They only wear those.
Are you more of a slider guy, or are you more of a? I think they call it a G something.
Normal flip flops.
Yeah, with the the thing.
I prefer normal flip flops. Yeah.
Not sliders.
No, as a kid, I really struggled to put like normal flip flops on. I was like, how do you get your toes to do that?
It's like using chopsticks with your feet. You got to get the
I had to figure it out. I was like, how do I do this? And then I had to like sit down and physically force my toe through, and then eventually you get used to it.
But it is so much better.
Yeah.
I hate sliders. Like I hate sliders with a passion.
Sliders? Why?
Proper pet peeve, man. But you have some people, right, where so you got the shoe, right? This is the shoe, okay?
Yeah.
The slider, and then your feet should sit here, right? These are the toes, right?
Yeah.
And they just like, mate, get your
push all the
foot
way forward over it.
back into your shoe. I don't want to see your dangly ass nails you haven't cut in like 10 years. Flapping about like this
hanging
year.
over the front of the shoe.
Do you know what I mean? I've got a friend that does it, and like the problem is, like you were saying about the phone that's flickering. It's like I see his damn feet and his uncut nails. And I can't not look at it. I'm like, mate, cut your damn nails or put some socks on. Like, get those feet back inside. Yeah, pet peeve, man.
Garrett, I went travelling with a guy.
Yeah, go on.
I'm not going to say his name, right? Because it'll bait him out. But I went travelling with him in Asia, and he bought a pair of flip flops, and they didn't fit him properly. And what happened was he put his feet in, and the back of his foot would like hang off. And I'm like, you couldn't have just tried them on and get normal shoes. And he had that the whole time. And each day I saw it, the more and more it would make me angry and upset. I was like, just buy a normal pair. Like, I'll buy it for you. No, fuck's sake. Right?
Isn't it so interesting what can irritate you?
Yeah, I didn't think that would irritate me, but it really, really did. Can't believe it. Have you seen Squid Game?
No, so again, I don't know if you must be like the.
All right, so let me give some context behind this. The reason why I'm asking is because a lot of people are hyping it up. It's been trending on Netflix for the last like month and a bit in the top 10. I think it had the number one spot for like 3 weeks or something stupid like that in the UK. Okay. And have you ever noticed that sometimes it's very difficult to catch a wave of a TV show? I mean, after it's already gone by, or how do you sort of get on it early so people don't ruin it for you later with spoilers? How do you get ahead of it? Because Squid Game was not expected to be like this, but it just really took off.
We're not. We have so many things on back. All right, let me just give you a context. Everyone here, we have not watched Game of Thrones. Okay, so we haven't done.
You know what, Garan? Considering how it ended, don't waste your time.
Okay, fine. Good advice.
Honestly, you're just gonna build it up, and then you get to the last season, you're like, this was a bag of shit. Why did I invest my time? That's how I felt. Honestly, that's how I felt.
So we are watching at the moment Crown, and we're watching Vigil on BBC.
Okay.
Vigil has 6 episodes. You should watch it. It's all set in this. It's all the Royal Navy. It's all like in a submarine, and someone's died, and it's really interesting. I'm really coming back now to British stuff.
Okay.
I never used to like it, but that's currently where I'm at. And then, there's a really good program on Amazon Prime, called All Blacks, All or Nothing, and they follow the New Zealand rugby team.
Yeah. There's loads of those All or Nothing shows on Prime. They do football ones, basketball ones.
Yes, so I finished that one. Now I'm watching the one about Man City and Pep. No, I don't watch football.
It was okay. It wasn't great. You're better off watching the Leeds one, the Leeds United one.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Because the Man City one, nothing happens. It's just dry. But the Leeds one is actually more enthralling, and the Spurs one is more enthralling as well.
Yeah, I think he's there, isn't he? The special one.
Jose's in it.
Yeah.
That's
You watch
why
this for
it was.
him,
That's why it was
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I watched it for him. I was like, this is great. Inject it. It was so funny, man, watching it. But going back to Squid Game and this whole like trying to catch things on a hype, it's hard, man, because you can invest yourself in so many TV shows and feel like you got to see it through. Do you remember The Stranger on Netflix?
Didn't watch it. Stranger
One
Things.
of the shit. No, just The Stranger. One of the shittest TV shows I've watched in my life. And I felt obliged to finish it because I was like, okay, I'm halfway through now. I've got to finish it. I can't do that. It's a real stubborn trait I have. I have to see it through.
It's a human thing, man. We don't like open cycles.
No,
right?
I need to close it.
Close things. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to close it. And that was ever since then. I've been like, yo, I'm just gonna see what's popping with everyone, and then I'll put it out there. But there's got to be some like Reddit threads or something where people just post about upcoming TV shows that they recommend, and then all of a sudden one just takes off or catches your eye. Because now people have fallen into holes of like other Japanese TV shows, and they're like, oh, this is cool. Let's watch this. Let's watch that. And now that's starting to be like a bit of a not a craze, but maybe like a new movement.
It's never ending, and actually, I think actually there is a social pressure sometimes to watch all of these different things, and
there is
right. There really is, and I'm feeling it now, and I'm very aware of it. But I'm like, I don't need to conform to this. I don't need to watch every single show out there.
See, you're like Sanj. She said that, but go on.
Actually, yeah, I'm of the opinion now, in terms of watching what I watch, comes from recommendations. So like when you and Sanj, I'll be like, guys, we want to watch a film tonight. Now the thing with Indy and Sanj is though, you ask them, then they reply the next day after the prime time sort of out.
Yeah.
Like Saturday night's gone now, and then they give us a recommendation Sunday morning. It's like, guys,
it's done. It's finished.
Next Saturday. Let's push the next Saturday. But that's how I do now. I do everything kind of by, it gets vetted to me, and then I get a little bit of a kind of blurb about what it's about.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it. But here's my trick, right? It's like, instead of trying to like super binge, what I found, the way we finished like even Downton Abbey before we did The Crown, was even if it's like 15-20 minutes when we have dinner, we do smaller chunks of longer periods of time, but we get it done rather than trying to go hard. Like, an hour today, back to back. Can't do that. we were definitely like a slower paced style.
I can't operate
makes it
like
more
that.
sustainable.
No, I
the
can't
only one I binged was Power. That was it. It was the only one I binged.
Power was shit, man.
No, Power's good.
My God,
Power's good.
Don't. It was so
Ghost.
bad. The ending was so shit. And the build-up each season got sillier and sillier and sillier. And I was like, this is... I'm the dickhead for still watching it, right? I'm the idiot who kept watching it and investing in it. But I was like, last season, all right, let's see it through. And I saw it through, and now they've done a spin-off series. I'm like, I'm not getting involved in the spin-off.
Yeah, no, if I'm honest, I didn't watch... After Ghost died, I was like, I'm not watching this now.
Oh, yeah, sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it by now, there's
Ghost's
no fucking
son,
chance.
yeah, what's his name? Tariq's in charge or whatever. And I'm like,
no. It's done.
It's about Tommy and Ghost. If there's no Ghost, bye-bye.
See, this whole burst shit that you're saying of watching things in little bits, I can't do it. Like, Sanj said to me, we should watch things like different show each day. And I was like...
Right, so then
I said,
okay.
Yeah, each day is different, basically, is how I did. And I'm like, you do realise doing that, we won't finish Squid Game until December.
Yeah, but what's wrong? What's wrong with that?
Because everyone's talking about it now, including my own family. I want to talk to them about it because it's a big show.
Okay,
I was like, for this one, I'll make an exception. Let's just watch as much of it as we can. And she was like, no. And then eventually she cracked and said, okay, let's watch it like whenever you want. And I was like, thank you. That'd be really great. So now I'm on like episode 5 and she's like lagging behind because she better sleep on the sofa. And I was like, yo, no mercy, man. If you better sleep on the sofa, I'm watching it without you. You got to catch up in your own time. Ain't on me.
Whoa, you're a bit hardcore.
Ain't on me, man. No,
so we have the rule where Shindy kind of gives me like a warning. It's like I'm getting tired, but I can still watch more. But then it's like
I'm getting tired. Basically, when their head slides down on the pillow, it's done. You're like, that's it. You're gonna fucking fall asleep any second now.
Yeah,
no, I'm awake. I'm like, bullshit.
You're gonna have to rewind this. And then I don't like that because then I get frustrated. I'm like, oh no, man.
Yeah, because I say just watch it in your own time now.
That never happens.
Watch it in your own time.
So what kind of all right, spin-off question to that then. I know a lot of couples who post-marriage, pre-kids, okay? Post-marriage, pre-kids, basically where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Evenings are dominated by watching stuff. That becomes a normal
No.
work, right? So how much
What's
viewing
the
time do you
balance?
guys have? Yeah, what's your viewing time?
What's the
What-
balance?
what are you
Every
doing
day's
today?
different. So
Okay.
one day I might get a call from my mum and she wants to talk, and then
Okay.
we got to sort some stuff out for ourselves. We got to plan like weekends with someone. We got to figure out when we're going back to Birmingham. She's on the phone to her family, and then I'm doing the bandit, and then I'm making my food, then I'm getting my food ready, and then by the time we sit down, it's like an hour, and then we go to bed. So it's not dominated by it. It's just being with each other and doing stuff together. So say for after
Yeah.
this is going to finish at 7:30, yeah? I'm
Right.
going to go to the gym tonight
Okay.
because I told
Oh,
myself
nice.
I was going to go. I'm not going to get home till like about 9:30.
You got a PT?
And then, no. All of
Doing
mine.
your own. Oh,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. So
For the guys who are watching.
hang on. So I'll
Remind
get
me.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get home and then we might watch a little bit of TV. I got a shower, go to bed, and get up early for work tomorrow. So this evening, there's not really much that I'll be watching with her. She might watch it on her own. She might catch up on Squid Game. Who knows? To be confirmed, guys. We'll find out. But yeah, that's how I do it. I don't want to have every evening just sitting and watching shit. I want to like do other things. I want to try and go to the gym. I want to try and maybe go and meet people if I can, if they're available. Yeah.
Meals, dinners, Chappelle, like you mentioned, having kind
Yeah,
of a varied lifestyle, because that lifestyle doesn't appeal to me, man. Of like, dinner in front of the TV, which I know. Like I said, I have friends who do that. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. Shindy said to me, he goes, look, I looked at my week now, since lockdown. If I'm gymming twice a week, coaching once a week, and doing a podcast, that's 4 of my nights, man, already kind of taken up.
Yeah.
With this kind of fifth night as like my kind of maybe do something
Free
else.
night.
Then sometimes things get cancelled, and Shang-Chi was like a last minute thing. I was like, oh, okay, no coaching today. Thanks.
Yeah, let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
And she said, if you didn't have that, Shindy said, oh, we would be one of those couples, man, like just addicted, watching stuff every single day. And there'll be
Maybe.
no blur, like it's just like you just do that and then you go to sleep and you go to work next day. And it's all just
When you have kids, it's different because when you have
Yeah.
kids, you look forward to that viewing time in the evening. You're like, oh, I get a few minutes to myself. The kids are finally asleep, but in that time, I've noticed maybe you don't spend time with each other. You do your own admin stuff, and then when you've done your own life admin, like messaging back people, catching up on stuff, having your me time, then you reconcile, then you watch something, then you go to bed. That's how you sort of do it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You have to respect one another's space and needs.
space very
So
important.
yeah, but it's you have to find a balance, don't you? You can't just keep going out every night, but then you can't just sit at home every night. You've got to do different things. Every couple's different, man. It depends on which ones you're comfortable with.
That's absolutely true. How is
You were saying about PT.
Oh, the gym, man! Like, oh, I would. So Jamie, guys. Jamie was Indy's former PT, my current PT. So we were, and this is only going to be funny for those who are watching. There was a guy, man, the other day, and he had these like really light dumbbells, right? So when you're sitting on a bench, shoulder, right?
Yeah,
And
just
he
a
was-
normal shoulder press.
Right, he was there, and he was going.
Oh, he was shrugging his shoulders bit by bit. Yeah.
And then you got these dudes who get like 2-3 kilograms, and they're doing like these tricep extensions, and we're like
Tricep kickbacks.
What
Yeah,
are
yeah.
dickheads doing, man? And then the funniest craze. This has got to be the funniest craze. These kids, I don't know where they come from. Little gang of kids. They get around the bench. We're gonna try 100 kilograms. So put 2 plates on. Right. So they've got the guy on the bench who's just like skinny as shit. You've got one guy behind squatting. You got one guy in each side squatting. And you got like front squatter. It's like the weirdest shit
You mean
I've
spotter?
ever seen.
You mean spotter?
Sorry, yeah, I didn't mean squatter. Spotter,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's got 4 people spotting for him. And
What are you gonna do from down beneath? Are you gonna mount him?
I don't
Come
know.
in front of
man.
him, be like, oh,
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
got
this is
you.
some weird ass shit. And so like the guy
No, but
takes
if you
it
do
down.
the maths, Goran, 100 kilograms.
Dive before.
If
Dive
you
for 5.
split that amongst 5 guys, that's 20 kilograms each to lift up if things go wrong. It makes sense, man. Makes perfect sense.
You clearly, if you need more than 1 spotter, you should not be lifting that weight, man. And so this guy's
Well,
just got it on his
that
on his
isn't
chest.
true. That isn't true. When guys squat super heavy weights, you need a person on each side.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these guys aren't there, man. These aren't athletes.
No, I understand.
Right?
I get
They're little
what you
kids
mean, but yeah.
just being dickheads. Right?
Were you
Stop
upset
being
because they were
dickheads.
hogging your bench, Karen?
No, it's okay. It was my high poetry day. We didn't need the bench, but yeah, there's just certain guys, man. Yeah, and there's certain exercises. I think what are you doing, man? Like the funniest one, you know the one, right? So tricep, right?
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
machine where you can hold the two things and you pull down like that.
Get the rope and push it down. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I see these women and guys, and they stand in front of it and they pull it through their legs.
Wait. So there is an exercise you can do with that, but you're meant to do it like a deadlift.
Mate, it's just bullshit.
So it's basically meant to be a pull through, where like where you have the rope, you step forward, you put it through your legs, but you're meant to bend down as if you're going into a deadlift,
Yeah,
and then
no
thrust
bending
your hips
here.
forward and pull it up. If they're just doing this shit, pulling it over their head like a numpty, then no.
Oh,
it's
I
not
don't know,
gonna do it.
man. Like, you just
They're gonna break the machine, and then I'm gonna be the one that's pissed off the machine's broken.
Because you're a machine guy, aren't you? You don't like free weights, do you?
Sometimes. Only for certain exercises I need the machine, and I'm like,
Oh.
the rope's broken.
You'll be proud. I'm doing proper pull-ups now.
Good lad, I'm proud of you, man. Well done.
So he's gonna do a post soon. We worked it out. The time I spend in the gym per week as a percentage is 1.1%.
If that makes you feel better, yeah, cool.
Well, he's gonna do a post. He's basically gonna do like a before and after when I couldn't do pull-ups pre-wedding
Mhm.
video. Me
Mhm.
trying to do pull-ups in my house, then doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
Jazz spends 1.1% of his time in the gym. It's 2 hours a week basically. That's all I do, right?
Yeah.
But these are the results. To show people the barrier to entry, right? Like to get results, you don't need to be in the gym every single day.
I think a lot of it, when it comes to the gym, Karen, it's... So I'm reading a book by James Smith called Not a Life Coach, right? And you start understanding how people's psyche works. And with it, he's obviously a PT himself. He gives like a few PT analogies, and he says, if you try and tell people to go on a super strict diet and you don't tell them why, they're going to hate it. They're going to bounce back. They're going to lose all motivation for it. And he said, but when you give people a bit of a balance with their life and you allow them to have a longer period to reach their goal, all of a sudden it doesn't become so daunting. And then he said, also added into that, the motivation that people need to have, it's not extrinsic. You got to have intrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
But then, what's your intrinsic motivation factor? Are you trying to be like on the front of men's health? Because that's not going to work. You're not going to get there. That's essentially unattainable.
Unrealistic.
Why are you doing this really?
Yeah.
What's the real reason? Is it because you want to have a better physique? Is it because you've got like injuries? Are you in pain? What's the real reason behind it that you're doing this for? That has to be strong to keep you going and being consistent. And I was like, okay, when you break it down like that and you try and understand the psyche behind why people are doing shit, that's really important. And that
What
makes
he's
all the
addressing
difference.
there is motivation. So we talked about this before, push and pull motivation. Remember? I talked about push and
Yeah,
pull.
yeah. Yours is push and pull. Yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it? Push and pull, extrinsic and intrinsic, all that. Yeah,
That's
it's the same
it.
thing.
But the why,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. If the why is not anchored, if you're not anchored to that, you won't do it because there's no reason to do it. That's the thing that people don't understand. And certain whys are stronger than others. If you say, if I do this, and I'll reverse my diabetes, and I won't have to chop.
You
right?
can do that.
You can. There are people who've done it, man. Or if it's like
If you're type 2, if you're not type 1, if you're type 2,
type 2. If I get on top of my diabetes, and that
your
means
pancreas ain't going to start working again, mate. Right.
Look at my strong. You have some powerful whys. Motivation is really, really interesting thing for me, and the more I spend time with different people through the power of conversation, and it's learning how they think and how they spend their time and why they spend their time. So like you said just there about the smaller, having a longer period of time to attain the goal. So they talk about this stat about if you spend half an hour a day on whatever chosen field, after 5 years, you're at world expert level in that, whatever it is. Half an hour a day, 5 years. Long time, delayed gratification. Same concept with the TV, man. That's what I'm trying to say to you, man. If I say I'm going to watch an hour a day, it's not attainable. If I say 15 minutes, I get done, man. Just different.
It's true. No, it's true. And if you say to someone, you need to... Actually, no, shit. I fully forgot what I was going to say. Hang on, what was I going to say?
That's it.
Absolutely,
Married
I was going
brain.
to forget
Married
what I said.
brain. That's why you need to write notes
it's that
down.
thing, married brain, my ass. No, I was going off what you were saying. What were you just talking about? You're like motivations,
Why?
intrinsic, extrinsic. Oh yeah, doing things over time. So if we think of this podcast, if we count the number of hours that we've done of this podcast, and you got that law of 10,000 hours, we're possibly much further along than we probably would think. And I'm like, oh, that's really important. That's actually quite helpful. And then we start picking up on things like, oh, social keys. Oh shit, did I talk over you too much? Oh, I need to stop doing that. Is the conversation the same every week? Oh, we need to stop doing that. Do we need to think about different directions? Like, all these little things start creeping into your head, and you're like, oh. And that's just the process of getting better at something and refining your craft. Sounds super cliche, but it is that, isn't it?
You get to the point. It's all about, guys, what I want you to, if you're at home listening to this, or wherever you are listening to this, Google the 4 stages of learning. Okay, the stage you ultimately want to get to, it's the stepwise thing, is unconscious mastery. Okay, so you're in a flow state. There are periods when we're in complete flow, where we look at the clock and we're like, whoa, it's been an hour, man, or an hour and a half with a guest or whatever, because you're in a flow. You don't feel like you're having to work for it. That's
you feel like that. I don't. I have to keep looking at the clock to make sure shit's on track.
Okay, good lad.
This is why, like, if we're ever in a studio with someone, I never want them to have access to a watch. I'll hold the watch, because that way I can see how time is ticking, go by their time limit, and then progress the conversation on if I need to.
You are the timekeeper.
Being the host.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You are the timekeeper.
That's what you do, man. That's what you got to do. Last question.
We need to give a shout out, man, to our editor.
Oh yeah, shit, our editor. Yeah, go on.
So guys, everyone's listening. You've seen the great content that gets put out every week. We're going to give a shout out to Riz. So Riz Baji over in Pakistan has been blessed with a baby boy. He was born today. He sent us a beautiful picture. So we want to extend our warm well wishes to his son who's coming to this world. Both mother and son are doing well. So guys, give them a very, very warm reception.
Yeah, man. Proper happy for him. I thought he got a bit quiet earlier in the week and it wasn't saying and then he told us. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
That makes sense.
Just tell us, enough. Yeah, just give us a shout, man. It's cool. Like, it's not a big deal. It's fine. So yeah. Right, my last question for you.
Dun, dun, dun.
How much would you pay someone to pick fruit? What's a suitable hourly wage you would give someone to pick fruit? Because there's a shortage of it, right, in the UK.
Is it? All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because of Brexit and stuff and the lack of immigration workers coming in, there's a shortage of it in that field. So what's a suitable wage to get people to do that job, do you reckon? It's a lot of bending over, picking up shit, putting it in a basket. Like
normal hours?
Day. I think so. Let's say for argument's sake it's normal hours.
8 hours a day. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Right.
Basically in a field, 8 hours a day. Done.
Minimum wage in the UK is?
I don't actually know. Is it £8 something? Let me look. Hang on. Excuse the typing sound that you're about to hear, guys. Minimum wage UK.
I actually enjoy
minimum wage in the UK is some people do, some people don't. The minimum wage in the UK is not helpful. That's the apprentice. Sorry, the apprenticeships. It's not what I want. Minimum wage UK. As you can see, I'm trying to stall. It's not really working.
You want me to search?
Minimum wage in the UK is not giving me an answer. Just tell me how much it is, man. Why is Google not doing this? Minimum wage UK 2021. Okay, right. I don't know how reliable this is, but 16 to 17, £4.62 an hour. 18 to 20, £6.56 an hour. 21 to 22, £8.36 an hour. So £8.36, let's say.
Yeah, fine. So you weren't that far off, were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
£8.36 an hour. That's how much it is.
Sorry, I've just seen that Stormzy's coming to Birmingham. Yes, rude boy. We be going to that Bossy Bop, yeah? Yes.
God, why the fuck did you...
Yes. Jana, pana. See my boy Stormzy, man.
Bro, that's so random. Why would you do that?
That's fine, man.
I never had you down as a Stormzy guy, man.
Stormzy's lit, man. I love Stormzy, man.
That's made my day, honestly.
You like Stormzy? You don't like Stormzy? I can't read you.
Yeah, I love him, man. It's great.
Oh, right. But you didn't have me. You thought it was a freshie, innit?
No, I didn't think you knew him at all.
Oh, Stormzy? No, man.
Yeah.
You know why I know him? Because he had that song with Ed Sheeran, man. He did a remix in it. I was like, yes.
That's it. There you go. That's how you know. You knew from the Ed Sheeran days. So
right? And then I was like, then I started listening to him. I was like, Stormzy's lit, man. I was like, there's a really good video when I think there's a guy from America and he comes over and he's like, oh, I've heard like UK rappers, but you're not as good as American rappers. And then basically they said, all right, let's do some freestyle. And Stormzy goes first, completely rips him. And then the American guy's like, man, I can't top that. Like, British rappers are the best. Like, he's just different level.
There was one awkward video he had to take part in. It was way back in the day. Do you remember Kevin Hart and Ice Cube did Ride Along?
Okay, yeah, the film. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So they were doing media and they had Stormzy come in. They made Kevin Hart go first, and then they made Stormzy go after. And they were just like, oh shit, this guy can properly rap.
Yeah.
And they were really blown away by it. And I was like, yeah, no shit, he can. They were like, yo, that was fantastic, man. I didn't expect that for shit. I was like, yeah. Don't underestimate him, man. He's very good. But going back to the wage,
money.
Right, 8.36. So what's a suitable amount that you would
But
pay?
you're saying that there's a shortage, so that means it has to go up. And I know the same thing's happened for lorry
Which means
drivers.
price has to go up, right, to attract people.
Yeah, £15, 15 to £20. I'm gonna say
£15. So that's actually more than what most people make, I think, in the UK. Realistically speaking, are we talking £15-20 before or after tax?
Yeah, gross.
Before
top
tax.
line.
Okay, so I still think if you do the quick maths, hang on, so £15 an hour, yeah? 15
Is the 8.36
times
gross on net though? When we talk about minimum wage,
37.5. That's gross. That's gross.
okay.
Okay, 15 times 37.5 hours a week. That's 7.5 hours a week, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 7.5 hours a day, 5 times a week. 37.5, yeah? That's £562.50. Times that by 4. Well, this is like rough, isn't it? Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more than that, depending on the months, or it's prorated, or however it is. But just for 28 days alone, that's £2,250. Goran, that's about a 35k salary.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about a 35k salary, maybe more. So you pay people 35k to do that. Most people, like in Birmingham, ain't even getting paid that.
No, they're not.
Again, so now you got to level it down, right?
But there's a demand, isn't there? So if there's a demand, you got to pay it, man. It's not going to be like that forever, isn't it? But when it's high, like lorry drivers, high now, they're going to get paid whatever they're going to get paid, isn't it?
There you go. So I personally think if you start incentivizing people to start paying for that, I mean, it's going to come to a point where I think the stats were the other day, the UK unemployment is lowering, right, but the demand for jobs is going up, which means
UK unemployment,
which means there isn't enough workers in the UK to fulfill the vacancies in jobs. That's basically it.
That's never happened.
That's the concept. And I'm like, okay, and those that can't work are probably on disability or whatever, or because they physically can't work. It's not because they're lazy or whatever. Like, it's because they can't, that maybe they're not qualified for that job, or maybe they just can't work because they have their own circumstances. Let's basically summarize and put them under that umbrella. Now, with this whole thing, it's a bit wild, because if you're going to start paying people all that, you're going to have to somehow incentivize people from, guess where? Outside the UK to come and do it, which means you're going to have to give them visas to come and do it, and means the immigration issue that you didn't like is now back on, and you're giving exceptions to it, but just not calling it immigration. You're calling it temporary visa shortage or whatever.
Yeah, rebranding it.
Yeah, smart that, isn't it? So you create a problem. Yeah. You make the problem worse, and then you fix your own problem, and now all of a sudden you're winning. I'm like, but you just made a problem and you fixed the problem out of nothing. Why don't you just not create the problem in the first place?
It's the premise for a lot of business, man. If there isn't a problem, create the problem, then you can fix it, and here's the solution. Dun, dun, dun. That's what business does, man.
But people in the UK were happier on that. Sorry, not happier. I shouldn't say that. People in the UK were content. Yeah, being on that wage when they had the demand for it, it was fine. It was leveled out. But now by doing an action like this, you've upped the cost for everything. So which means your margins are smaller as a business then. If you're the fruit picking business, your margins have now gotten shorter unless you're given, what's the word? Is it a grant? No. How do you incentivize people? I think it's a grant, isn't it? Unless the government gives you like a booster of money of some sort to incentivize people to come over, and they say that they'll agree to pay a percentage or the difference.
Or whatever they do, yeah.
Whatever, yeah. Imagine that.
So you considering leaving marketing to pick some?
And you know what, Goran? Considering how my back is, I don't think I can. However, I think people should consider this. Even though it's going to be shitty weather for the next few months.
Crawling is acceptable. You have to.
I can crawl. I just don't think that my picks per hour would be very high if I was crawling. Imagine if you had like a quota, like you must pick X amount of fruit per hour. What's your pph picks per hour?
My God.
Imagine that you got to pick 60 bananas in 20 minutes. Go. Put it back in the scale. If you don't do it, it's like supermarket sweep.
Yeah.
Supermarket sweep in real life. Holy shit! And if you don't do it, you don't get paid.
You don't get paid. That's interesting, man. So what is it?
There
What
we
is
go.
actual? What have they increased the rate to? Have they said?
They haven't. I was just throwing this out for argument's sake. I don't know if they have increased it, but it's looking likely they have to do that same way they did with the heavy goods vehicle drivers and stuff. Similar concept, similar issue. Yeah.
Sorry,
it.
I was yawning inside there. I'm trying not to.
It's okay. I can feel it. I can see it in your eyes. Your eyes went like
You
this.
could,
You know, when your eyes go like that, you start lighting up. You can see the whites in their eyes.
Shit! It's like it's just coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can yawn. It's cool. I don't know if I'm boring you.
Not boring. Just like I said, I'm so.
I get it. You need sleep, and I need to go to the gym. So we will call it there. People, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for getting this far. Please give us a shout of what you thought of Garen's penknife if you're listening and watching this at the same time. And we will see you guys next week. Also, give us feedback on the Jaspreet podcast that we just did. So behind the netra.
Yes.
You understand why I said that and what the concept meaning behind it is if you listen to the first 10 minutes of that episode. Boom, you'll get it. But thank you guys. We will see you soon. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Send it to people that you think will like to know about Dave Chappelle and stupid ass TV shows and the concept of binge watching and gymming. Shindy, I'm giving you all the flipping media segment breakdowns right now at the end of the podcast for you to send to me to put this out. And also, in summary, fruit picking. There you go. People you think are interested in all those, please send it on. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Peace.